Greetings. I'm Sal Sanders. I'm going to give you an overview of Graduate Record 84B. This is a record of policy and procedural changes approved by Graduate Council for the 2016-2017 academic year. The members of Graduate Council working on these policy and procedural changes include Samuel Adepuku, Patrick Bateman, Laura Beedling, Lauren Cummins, Kendra Fowler, John Hazy, Paul Louth, Valerie Odell, Matt Palo, Gail Saunders-Smith, Dolores Cisco, Virgil Solomon, and the Chair of Graduate Council, Mark Womble. Me, I'm an ex officio member. What's been going on? Graduate Council approved 20 policy changes and 39 course and program actions this past year. These are policy changes and changes to courses and programs that will improve graduate education for our students. We found everything in this graduate record important enough to give it careful consideration and to act on it. There are 25 pages, including appendices, for you to review and enjoy, and we hope you'll do just that. To keep this video to a reasonable length, I'm going to highlight 7 of the policy changes effective this year. The first is a limit to admission deferral. In the past, we allowed applicants to defer admission an unlimited number of times for an unlimited length of time at no additional cost. The new language states that an applicant may defer admission one time within 1 year at no cost. They can still defer admission past that, but they're going to have to pay an application fee to do so. We also provide for guaranteed admission for students whose English language skills aren't at a level high enough yet to engage in graduate study at Youngstown State University. They'll be admitted to the English Language Institute, but we've packaged this a little bit differently. For programs willing to do so, they can review an applicant's file and then pre-approve them so that they're guaranteed admission into that program once they meet our English language requirements. This is a much nicer letter to get, stating not just that you're coming here to study English to improve your language skills, which is important, but that you've also been pre-accepted now and you're guaranteed admission into the program that you've chosen, provided you can meet the English language skills within a specified amount of time. We also changed one of the policies dealing with satisfactory academic progress. This policy stated that a student had to repeat any course with a D or F grade and get an A or B in that course. And we made a slight change to this policy, allowing the repetition of that course to be at a C or higher. And we already have language that limits the number of C's, so we think we're making a much easier transition, much better policy for the students so that the bar is not quite so high on that repeated course. We also made some changes in the language that deals with being not in good standing. And we're focusing, in this case, more on semester GPA rather than cumulative GPA. In the past, the language was all written so that the cumulative GPA had to be brought back up to a 3.0. We still require a 3.0 GPA in order to graduate and earn your degree, but for the academic suspension, we've now changed the language so that it now states academic suspension is automatic for a regularly admitted student if the semester GPA is below 3.0 after 1 semester in which the student is registered. We made some language changes also to thesis and dissertation procedures, and most places, I think, were making the oral defense a public event. Nonetheless, there was some concern that it wasn't the case universally across the university, so the new language states that the oral defense must be advertised within the college, and the oral defense is considered to be a public event, so anyone can attend. Long overdue policy change, we now have a graduate assistant leave policy, and my hat's off to everyone who's worked with students and made adjustments and accommodations, because I know that students have needed leaves in the past that hold graduate assistant positions, but now we have a long overdue graduate assistant leave policy, and you can read all the details there in Appendix 1. In Appendix 2, you'll find information about changes to the grievance policy. We used to have our own separate grievance policy. Now there's one policy for graduate and undergraduate students, so all students are under the same policy, making it, I think, much clearer for students and faculty on the procedures to follow in the case of a grievance. Hopefully we don't have too many of those. It'd be nice if this policy went unused for a while. Lastly, I'd like to thank everyone, especially those of you who are members of the graduate faculty. I want to thank you for your contributions to graduate education at YSU. Your willingness to take your scholarly and creative work to the next level requires a lot of hard work and commitment. I thank you for sharing your knowledge, talent, and expertise with the students engaged in graduate work at our university. You are the College of Graduate Studies. Thank you for all you do to allow us to continue our mission. At its core, the mission of the College of Graduate Studies is to make quality graduate education available to all qualified people desiring it. Have a great day. Bye.